You know the audio quality on these videos probably sounds like crap, and that's because I'm using this thing right here that it makes it a little bit easier to do things quickly because I actually work all day and I actually have the equipment to try to make it a little bit better. I've got a condenser mic, I got that stand, all that kind of stuff. But I mean, it's just when I'm doing these little honest rants, I feel like it should be more raw. I guess I don't know because to be honest with you, I'm kind of too lazy to hook it up. There's a reason for that because I need to get to the fucking point. And the point of this video is lots of things. Life is like fucking shit, man. I mean, a lot of times, man. It could be beautiful. That's fine. But man, I mean, the shit that happens in like just little, it's like this. It's like a damn game of this right here. See, it ain't even working. Oh, but now it wants to work. So when you expect it to work, it does, and then it doesn't, and then you try to get it to work, and all of a sudden it does. So here, let's give it a try. Y'all saw me hit it, right? Like the first one was yellow, right? I mean, am I wrong? Is the game not working correctly, or is it me that's not working correctly? I'd place my bets on me, to be honest, but whatever. Maybe batteries are dead. Whatever. Kind of like mine. They're just run out. But the thing I actually wanted to talk to you about tonight is something very important. It's this entire concept that's been making the rounds, and it's really bothering me. John Cena, who I think is the appropriate time to talk about this, because John Cena all of a sudden has talked about trying to make a Duke Nukem movie. This is an issue, big issue for me, particularly because John Cena seems to me now, okay, body wise, whatever. I mean, I guess he could look like John Cena, or John Cena could look like Duke Nukem, whatever it is. I don't think so, but that's neither here nor there. I mean, he's definitely bigger than I am. He's definitely more successful than I am, and I will never dream to make as much money as he has made with his shit. And I mean, you can't see it anyway because you can't see him, but that's beside the point. The point is, apparently he's been talking about it because it's one of his favorite 90 video games. Okay, well, that ain't gonna work, man. It's not, and I'll tell you what. First of all, from what I've seen, he's kind of a shill. And I'm not saying, like, I don't know the dude. Like, if I had a conversation with him person to person, probably wouldn't say this face to face, not because I'm afraid, but just because, I mean, it just wouldn't be proper, right? Like, I mean, I'd at least talk to him about it and be like, hey, man, what do you like about this? What do you know about it? Did you play all the expansions? Did you play it on PC or did you play it on fucking, the N64 version or God forbid the PS1 version or whatever? I mean, like, what's the deal? Why are you making a Duke Nukem movie? Especially him, because right, he again, shill was a harsh word, but it's kind of where we're at with it. They're not going to allow the kind of shit that Duke says. And on top of that, it's not going to work with him anyway, because here's the deal. Take a body type like John Cena or anybody that you could use as a stand-in, right? And what the best case scenario is that they dub his voice with John St. John, because nobody is the Duke except for John St. John. I mean, nobody's the fucking Duke, right? I mean, like, nobody's the Duke. Bowls of steel. It just ain't gonna happen. And John Cena doesn't even have the correct, like, tone or cadence to his voice to pull it off. Now, if he can, I might be a little bit impressed, but it ain't gonna be John St. John. That it's a fact, right? So he could just be like a stand-in, and then he's ADR'd with John St. John's voice. That might work. I don't know. I don't even know how he's trying to pull this off. What is he even trying to adapt? Because again, even back during the fucking 2011 shit. I mean, 2011 Duke Nukem Forever. They were talking about how all these concepts are outdated, and they're super misogynistic and you know, offensive and all this kind of shit. Clearly, they missed the point that it's supposed to be. So here's my thing with it. Whether it be John Cena or not, I say John Cena just puts up the money and just gets over the fact that he ain't gonna play Duke. That's my suggestion. But he can just put up the money, right? Here's what they get. They ADR John St. John for the right shit, because again, I mean, John St. John is Duke, is what it is. And then you approach this story like, or the entire deal. You approach it in like a John Carpenter kind of way, you know, where it's just Duke dropped into a situation to where everyone else seems completely normal, like kind of like here, like if the way we understand real life, right? So everybody else thinks this shit is crazy. The aliens are invading, they're trashing his ride and all that kind of shit. And everyone else is reacting sort of normally how we would react, and then you drop the Duke in. But the Duke is not a normal guy. You know, he's kind of like Nada in They Live, or, you know, Jack Burton in Big Trouble in Little China. If you refer to my last video, my Tide movie for best movie of all time, you know, that and The Crow. But that's the other one, if you're wondering. It's a whole separate video. And They Live is a whole separate video. But the whole concept, the John Carpenter way of doing it is like, here's what's so cool about John Carpenter. The enemies were taken seriously. Like, even in something like Ghost of Mars, man. Even in something like Ghost of Mars. I mean, you got Natasha Henstridge coming off of Species. And then you got Cube, Ice Cube, coming off like, you know, mean mugging how he does and crossing fucking Mac 10s or whatever. I think they were Mac 10s at the time. But, you know, acting all tough. But he pulled it off. He pulled it off. And the enemies were somewhat convincing. In that way, you know, in that John Carpenter kind of Duke Nukem way. So, bottom line is, it don't need to be this. It don't need to be something stupid. Like, it's straight up, aliens come down. The world is reacting in a way that we would normally react, or in this day and age, which would be hilarious. There's so many writing opportunities on that, just for tweeting and social media, and just people being wigging out and being weak and shit like they are now. But on top of that, you could do it in a way to where Duke is just, he's dropped down and he's like the complete opposite, and he's just kicking ass. That's the entire point. It's not about like whether or not the guy is a misogynistic piece of crap, right? I mean, he's not. He's just a, you know. I mean, he's Duke. He's Duke Nukem. I mean, people are different. It is what it is. You know, you don't gotta agree with him. That's not the point. The point is the Duke kicks ass. You know, just like anyone else should kick ass in that scenario. But the thing is, it's like we're so wrapped up on this. This is what I was going to say. I am afraid that there is no way that John Cena, being even remotely involved with this project, cannot have the funding to desecrate that entire thing. And here's what I mean by that. It's going to become a complete parody, man. Like, in a stupid way. And I'm not even talking about girl bosses or any of that shit. Like, it's going to be, Duke is going to be a complete fool, a complete moron. It's going to be written into where it's going to be like Peacemaker, right? Like, he's oblivious to everything that's going on. And therefore, anything that he does to actually kick ass, anything that he does to actually kick ass is going to be diminished by a viewer that likes the character. And we don't like the character because he's a misogynistic piece of shit or anything like that. We like the character because he's honest about who he is. It doesn't like we don't have to identify with it or act like that we aspire to be Duke because like fuck, dude, I mean, the fact of the matter is you take Duke Nukem forever, right? You're taking steroids and shit to boost your ego and things like, well, it shrinks your pee-pee. It shrinks your pee-pee. So I've heard. I ain't trying to get my pee-pee shrunken. I mean, that's all there is to it. So, okay, so I'm going to be this big-ass guy, or I'm going to have my pee-pee shrunken. I'm not into it. Right? So I'm not interested. The point is that he's a funny fucking character because he is sort of a parody, but he kicks ass at the same time. In the same way that, like, Ash Williams kicks ass, Jack Burton kicks ass, or so many others, right? Again, do the thing in a John Carpenter way and it'll work. But don't focus on Duke, and especially for the love of God, don't put Duke into a situation to where he's the butt of every joke and you just use the Duke Nukem name to fund your own crap. Because that is not going to work. We've already seen this, like, for decades now, but definitely within the last 5 to 10 years. It don't work. Don't use the license to diminish the character. I'm telling you, it ain't going to work. I'm begging you as a fan. I'm telling you from a business perspective, it ain't going to work. You're going to lose your ass. So, balance the shit out. Whatever you choose to do with it, because again, John Cena says he wants to do it, and he probably has the money to do it. I mean, he could definitely walk into like Lloyd Kaufman's office, probably, if Lloyd Kaufman had him, man, maybe, But if Lloyd Kaufman was like, yeah, I'll do a meeting with Cena, even though I can't see him, but he would do a meeting with him, and if John Cena put up the cash and just laid it out, Kaufman might be like, yeah. We'll make a Duke Nukem trauma film. You know what? Might be the best thing they can do because you don't want to have all this. Oh, last thing I'm gonna say about this: no fucking alien CGI in a Duke Nukem film. Like if ships are coming in and backgrounds are CGI or whatever, that's fine. I ain't expecting y'all to make matte paintings in this like this. I'm not expecting that, but the aliens themselves that Duke is fighting, the pig cops and the brainiacs and all that stuff, no, it's got to be practical. Totally. If they're moving fast, maybe you can mix some CGI in it. But when they're up on them, they're getting shot, blood, and all that. I mean, I'm talking straight up fucking Stan Winston kind of shit. I mean, try your best, Seriously. None of that CGI bullshit. It matters. So let me know what you think, because if this Duke Nukem film actually comes to any kind of fruition, it's probably going to have to be nuked from orbit. And I hope it doesn't. Let me know what you think.